Yeah, what's up, Jackson? What's going on? Hope everybody's doing well today. You know, we got another one in. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad it's coming up to the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? It's Thursday. It's no 30th. 30th of July. Man, man, man. It's been a heck of a it's been a heck of a month, haven't it? Been a heck of a month. You know what I'm saying? It's coming up to the end of this next week. Tomorrow's next week is August. That means it's gonna be the last month of summer. You know what I'm saying? The last full month, rather. Because next following month, they got this back to school thing, right? Everybody going back to school now. Now I guess what's gonna be next Labor Day, right? Everybody gonna be preparing for that. Let me get the words out today this morning. Yeah, but everything is well on this end. Thank you, and I just hope that your children, whether it's your children or your grandchildren, I hope y'all have a real good day today in class, and despite all the mess that's going down here in the city of Jackson, you know, um, yeah, we still moving forward, still hammering on this bass scripting, I got like, can you believe it? I got like, out of 10 lessons, I got 4 left. Actually, it's going to be uh, 2 after today. After today, it's going to be 2 lessons. I'll have 2 lessons left, and I mean, I understand it. I'm rocking and rolling with it, and I'm taking my time. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking my time because I want to get this thing correct. I want to be able to, you know, um, understand this the way the professionals understand it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want this to be all, you know, scattered. I don't want these lessons to be scattered. Learning bash scripts, loop statements, while loops, for loops, um, um, uh, these integers, functions, things like that. I don't want all that to be scattered. So I want to take my time and learn it, you know what I'm saying, and really get a full understanding of it. I mean, as long as I got the concepts and everything, but I want to understand the exercising of what that particular what it does, and why. And that's the key. Why do you have to, perform um this particular process? You know what I'm saying? Why do you have to use this particular process, and why, and how does it serve, the person that you're trying to use it for? You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, there are some other languages that I'm also kind of like working with. It's kind of like a class. Like when you change classes, I'm just dealing with, it's PostgreSQL. Is PostgreSQL, of course, I'm learning the PowerShell. But see, all that's going to tie in together. I don't do anything where it's like, sporadic. It's not all over. I'm not all over the place. All that's tying in together to what I'm doing. It's like, when you crunch the numbers and they all tally up to 1. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's why we're learning all of this, because it's all gonna make sense once I get it all once I understand the concepts of how it all plays out together, how it all comes together. Then I'll be able to, then I'll know how to put it together. Because let me say something. I don't mind this AI stuff. I don't knock it. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Because it's here. It's just like the internet. It's here and it ain't going nowhere. It's just going to get better and better. But one thing I've always said when this thing came in, I'm not going to allow that to allow me to be lazy with learning information. I'm not just gonna spit out the information and just let you willy nilly and let it willy nilly just do what it do. No, no. Or write a letter up. Let AI write me a letter up, send it off, and let it do what it do. No, I'm gonna write that email. I'm gonna write that letter. Now, I'm gonna write the letter. I'm gonna correct it. I'm gonna correct the grammar on it and everything. And like I said, I might have AI professionalize it. If that's a word, but I'm quite sure it is. I may have AI professionalize the letter, but um, as far as creating it, no, no, no. But I want my authentication of what I'm trying to convey to whomever that reads it. I want my authentication to be there. You know, of course they're gonna organize it, but I'm gonna put it in the style and tone that I want. It's not gonna be in the robotic style and tone. I don't want that thing sounding robotic. I want it to be in the style and tone of whoever I want. I might just go on to YouTube and pull my transcript. And this is the way you do it. You pull your transcript. You know what I'm saying? Or pull a transcript of someone. You can pull a transcript of anybody on YouTube and put it and write it in their style and tone. And boom, real talk, and it won't sound robotic. And those are the moving parts that is missing in the equation of AI and how people use it. I'm okay, because people have grown lazy. I'm just gonna give you an example. It's like my daughter, for example. She doesn't do that. She doesn't do that. She doesn't put it into the style and tone of someone else. You know what I'm saying? She just free form it. Nah, man, look, bro. You got to train this thing. Right? So, but yeah, so, but anyway, I got into this bash scripting thing and Python and all that stuff because I wanted to learn. First of all, the reason why I'm learning how to do this is because if something happens to where, over a period of time, people are going to grow more dependent on AI. People are going to become lazy, and people are going to lose their capacity to push through when they can just put it into whatever AI that they choose. So, but for me, I'm like this. If you can identify if it's wrong, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have a problem. I don't want you to write out something for me that I don't understand. You understand where I'm coming from? You understand where I'm coming from, resident? I don't want you to write something for me that's like you writing something for me, and I don't understand the jargon. You writing a letter for me, and I ain't read it. I just have a dependency on you writing it for me, and I just say, okay, let's take care of that for me. Yeah, handle that. And then, we'll just send it off, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna happen. That is not going to happen. So, but that's why I said I don't want that, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I was growing to be, once I learned how to train it, I was becoming dependent. Now let me say something. When I was in computer engineering school, before this AI thing became prevalent, um, we use Google to find certain answers, which that's totally fine. I see the purpose of what we was doing. For example, like uh, if there was something that we was trying to, because you don't know everything, so sometimes you have to Google search it in order to kind of find the answer in order for you to be able to fix the problem. For example, like if when we broke down uh, um, when we broke down the you know the tower, and let's say we ran into a problem with why um trying to figure out how come maybe have a hard drive problem, the reason why the hard drive won't spin up or won't install or whatever the case may be, and you checked all the wires and everything on the inside, make sure it wasn't a hardware issue. You might have to Google search that. You're not expected to know. Uh, you're not expected to know everything. You know, it, you know, um, unless you've been dealing with the problem, a whole lot. Of course, you're gonna automatically know what that problem is. But so you do a Google search. You just do a Google search. Say, hey, look, listen, let's, and then you can commence to fixing whatever problem that you having. But I mean, and so I could understand. So that was used as a tool. That was used as a tool in computer engineering, and it still is to this day. People Google search it because they want to. And some folks even have the AI trained just for computer engineering, and they train it have it already trained. You know, but but I'm saying that's what Google was for. Because you're not expecting to know everything. Adele in a gateway, those are two different computers. You know what I'm saying? You may experience two different problems. You know what I'm saying? Even with two Dells, they may be the same Dell, same model, same chipset, same everything. But you're gonna have two different problems that you're gonna have to do a Google search on. You're not expected to know everything. It's too vast. That's why it's too vast. So, but that's what that's the reason why we use Google, right? All right. So but anyway, so the scripting language, and not only that. Let me say this. I've said this before. I'm gonna say it one more time. It's the bare minimum to your system. Actually, assembly is the bare minimum to the system. You learn assembly. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna learn all this what I got going on right now, and I'll tackle with assembly, later on down the line, because it's not serving me no purpose. I'm just learning the things that's serving me purpose right now. That's serving me purpose to move forward with what I'm trying to move forward with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all tying into the my credit consulting business. See, all this ties into my credit consulting business, and it all ties into you. You know what I'm saying? When you have a issue with your computer or your laptop or whatever the case may be, might be your cell phone, or whatever the case may be. Believe me, I can't get into your cell phone through my computer. That's a fact. I can get into your cell phone. Cell phones, you can get into a cell phone through a computer. So, but nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I got going on. Everything I said, everything is going. It's like I said, it's moving. I'm moving forward and moving with a steady pace. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but anyway, y'all see what y'all see today's news, man. Them folks tripping over there. See, now they deflect. Mainstream media is deflecting. So they deflecting this stuff with this young cat, Nolan Wells, and how people over these media these social media platforms, and how they're conveying the messages. Come on, B. See, they deflecting. Hey, if you got the information, you need to contact the sheriff. Come on, B. This is a day and age of social media. That's what it's called, social media. They deflecting. They deflecting. See, they know that there's something more to this story, but they can't tell it. Now all of a sudden, now they talking about this young guy that was on the boat with him or whatever, and how he's doing these cease and desist things or whatever the case may be, whatever. And okay, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, but the media is like, yeah, the media is perpetuating that to deflect. All that's deflection. Everything's deflection. You know what I'm saying? Don't be fooled, resident, because what you hear on the regular news, because I'm telling you, there is something out there, and a lot of these content creators is putting it out there, and they blowing it up. They blowing it up and blowing it out. You know what I'm saying? Because justice needs to roll like a mighty stream. Because I think about, what if there was no social media? How would people know about Nolan Wells? If there was no social media, how would people in New York know about Nolan Wells? Would the mainstream media be as vocal? Would they be as vocal? Who knows? Who knows? The mainstream media, even when that young Reed fell up there at Delta College, got hung with a belt that didn't belong to him, even though we had social media outlet months back, that didn't get as much attention as it should have. Yes, the great Willie D covered it. But I talked to the people up in Flint, my people up in Flint at A10 News Media Group. They didn't even know. I called some of my friends in New York. Some of them didn't even know. Matter of fact, everyone that I called didn't even know about this young man being hung. But I'm glad they made it very boisterous to disseminate this Nolan Wells case. Not everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? So, don't be fooled by the mainstream media. They can send out all the cease and desist letters they want to send out. But let me say this. The freedom of speech protects you. You can send out all the cease and desist if you want to. YouTube, Facebook, this, that, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know, they can control these platforms. These platforms are controlled. Yes, they are. Have no doubt about that. They are very much controlled. But what if you didn't have a platform? What if you wasn't on those platforms? You had your own platform. freedom of speech still prevails. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, how much control? I mean, that's just to control the platforms. Cease and desist to control the platform has nothing to do with you. Let me make that clear. Let's make that abundantly clear. The cease and desist letters has nothing to do with you. That has something to do with the platforms that you put your information on. You know, all these content creators put information on. Like I said, the TikToks, the Facebooks, the X's, you know, all that stuff. You know, all those platforms. That right there is to say, well, we'll sue you if you keep perpetuating it or disseminating it. You know what I'm saying? So see what I'm saying? So it puts like platforms like YouTube, their hands tied up. Their hands tied. Facebook, their hands tied. So, you know, if they fight back. That's if they fight back. Cause if it was my platform, I tell them, hey, F y'all, this freedom of speech. This freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? You know, if that had been, if the tables were reversed, they wouldn't be doing this. They wouldn't be doing this. Willie D came on there yesterday and said somebody was threatening him, threatening his life about this Nolan Wells situation. Why? Because of what he's talking about? That's just going to make people cover this thing even more and more and more. That's going to make people cover this thing even more and more and more. So people need to, you know what I'm saying, they need to take a chill pill. Go into your cabinet and get that chill pill out and drink you some water and take that pill. And chill out. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? One platform don't do it, another platform will. And these people, like I said, your focus is on the wrong thing. Because like I say this without going into it, all that stuff gonna come out the wash anyway. Because time reveals everything, baby. Time reveals everything. The way time changes it, time reveals it. Because when it changes, when time changes it, it's going to reveal. It automatically, that's common sense. Because don't nothing last forever. Don't nothing stay the same. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can go hide up under your bed all you want to, but it's still going to find you. Time. Time is going to pull. It's going to break that metal down out from underneath your bed. Time is going to create the dirt to have you move out from under there so you can brush yourself off. Time is going to create everything that it's going to make you change. Either you're going to grow or you're going to die. But I can guarantee you one thing. Time is going to make that happen. But anyway. So that's what I have to say about that, plain landed. Yeah, so well, Chokwe and Talamuma got disbarred. Chokwe and Talamuma got disbarred. Jody Owens got disbarred. Now Chokwe and Talamuma got disbarred. They're only gonna go somewhere else and practice. They're only going to go somewhere else and practice. I'm telling you. So, I mean, look, let me tell you something. Them deals has been made. And just as I was saying a few seconds ago, time is going to reveal it. If you talk long enough, there's only two things that's going to happen. The truth is going to come out, or a lie is going to be told. But over a period of time, the truth going to walk out of a lie. I ain't never seen a lie walk out of the truth. But I've always seen the truth walk out of the lie. So we can know. So they can do all the lying they want to do, all the covering up they want to do. But later on down the line, the truth gonna walk out. Like, I promise you, it's gonna walk out. And you're gonna be like, dang, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's nuts. You know, it's nuts. Yeah, look, we had a rant yesterday. Oh, yo, sorry, yo. But we had a rant yesterday. I mean, we had a rant yesterday. I had to come. I had to get in. I had to get in yesterday because it's constant. It's the constant mentality. It's what stagnates the city. Kenneth Stokes has a mentality. He has a mentality. He knows the law. He knows civics. Why you been there so damn long? Why you don't pass that torch to someone else? Let me ask you that question. Why you don't pass that torch to someone else? Resident, I ain't down, and this is not to disparage anyone. But why is he still there? See, I'm a conspiracy theorist. But I can tell you this. Just like the truth walks out of a lie, facts walks out of theory. Not the other way around. I ain't never seen theory walks out of a fact. Facts walks out of theory. Why is he there? Who keeps him there? Y'all need to pay more attention to what's going on around y'all. Kenneth Stokes ain't there for no reason. He ain't there because the people decided to say, hey, you know that, because if he decided to say, I don't want to run no more, he can do that. When his wife, bless her soul, was with the board of supervisors. See, my problem is this. I pay attention too much. And I had sight when this went down. I had eyesight when this happened. When his wife was with the board of supervisors, he was with the council. And you noticed how they traded seats. You see how Jackson don't have no type of law of conflict of interest? Where was the law of conflict of interest there? You know what I'm saying? Because according to my knowledge, that if a council has interest in something, I don't know if that's for Jackson, but according to my knowledge of dealing with this, if a council has interest, they can't vote on something, right? Because of what? Conflict of interest. My thing is this. His wife was on the board, and they swapped spots. Remember that? That should have never happened. That should have never happened. And then when she decided to go become a judge, what happened? What happened there, Jackson? He took the spot back over at the city council. That's some bullshit, you ask me, bro. That was some straight bullshit, if you ask me. Conflict of interest. I'm gonna hold down the spot. You know what I'm saying? You just take my spot so you can get that experience. So when you get ready to run for judge, everybody know you, and then you have all your voters. That's what that was about. How you think she became judge? Because of the voters. And all of a sudden, he goes to the board of supervisors. Man, that was a load of baloney. That was a load of baloney. But did anybody say anything? I ain't hear it. I ain't hear it. I promise you, I ain't hear it. She come in there, you know what I'm saying, with a, you know, really had a little attitude, whatever, boom, 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 which, you know what I'm saying, I mean, she had a little attitude, you know what I'm saying, but she did the job, whatever, you know what I'm saying, you know, I don't have anything negative to say about her, you know what I'm saying, I mean, because like I said, I didn't know her, I didn't really study her on when she was at the board of supervisors, but I did study it when she was on the council in Kennesaw. But my overall point of the matter is that how is it the fact that they swapped seats like that, and the city didn't say nothing, and said a damn thing, not nothing. Isn't that conflict of interest? Make that make sense. That's called putting your neighbor. See, that's why I say, resident, you can't let nobody put you in the chokehold. You gotta come out of your stagnation of doing the same damn thing, because you're gonna get the same results. What really? Let's talk about this for a minute. What results did Kenneth Stokes really bring to his ward? What results? Answer that question. What results has Kenneth Stokes brought to his ward? What results? What is he bringing? Because according to my knowledge, all the results that's being brought to that ward is done by the people. It's done it's not done by him. So I'm not trying to hear. What has he done? So if we're getting the same results, then we need to change. Don't you think? And then hear when he speaks, he don't. You ever notice he don't really say nothing about his ward? He speaks about Jackson overall. Like he trying to control this place. He trying to control the narrative. The narrative. When Councilman Harley comes out, when something goes down, like something happened, like they had a press conference over at the zoo. Councilman Harley was there. Police Academy, Councilman Harley was there. Police Precinct, Councilman Harley was there. Jane Avenue community meetings, Councilman Harley's there. You know what I'm saying? Showing up. He shows up. Oktoberfest, he's there. Book bags and stuff, giveaways, he's there. And if he don't come, he sends someone. That's leadership. I don't know what that shit Councilman Stokes is doing. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to disparage him. But change. There's some changes need to be made over at that ward. And Councilman Stokes, bro, been there too long. But I don't think them white folks want you out of there. I'm just gonna keep that 100%. Call me racist, call me whatever you want to call me. 1-800-COLLECT, don't call, don't work no more. The white folks don't want you out of there, bro. And it ain't your constituents either. Because I'm quite sure there's a lot of them folks want you out of there. When it's time to throw in the towel. When it's time to throw in the towel. Throw it in. You had the faith, you hit the good fight, throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Be an advisor. Be an advisor. That's where your expertise. Man, you've been in this game a long time, bro. Long time. I know every time I came down here, he was on even when I was a kid. When I came out, man, after 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? And since I was a kid, he come down here. He counseled. Every time I come down here, he counseled. Every time I come down here. I'm like, man, I'm like, big fat dude there, he's still there. That's what I used to say all the time. Man, the big fat dude always there. I didn't ever know his name. I was like, I know I'm the fat dude now, right? But I'm just saying, that's what I used to say. Like, yo, I was like, he's still here. He done took pictures with Minister Farrakhan, all these different folks. They come to Jackson. He put up resolutions to change the name of Ellis Avenue. Change the resolutions to do all these types of put up these resolutions to do a whole bunch of stuff. That's to keep folks. That's just to keep folks putting him in that seat. Well, he does, dude. He does. But see, he's changing the narrative of the city. That's what's doing. That's what. Cause think about it. That Ellis Avenue ain't got nothing to do with his ward. What the flip flop Ellis Avenue got to do with his ward? See my point? I don't care how good friends him and Bobby Rush is. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't got nothing to do with what my thinking is. My thinking is that he had the propensity to want to design, and he went out and he carried it out to design that, have them come up and change Ellis Avenue over to Bobby Rush Boulevard, which I totally disagree. See, I don't think he did that on his own. I don't think he did that on his own. That MF, it pisses me off. Why the hell you changing it over to a goddamn boulevard? See, look, y'all can say what y'all want to say. When you say boulevard, That's only letting folks know where they are. That's letting black folks, white folks know where they are. Oh, that's nigga neighborhood over there. See what I'm saying? Let's not go to that boulevard. Because you ever notice we have boulevards. We got boulevards. It ain't an avenue. It's a boulevard. Medgar Evers Boulevard. Martin Luther King Boulevard. Malcolm X Boulevard. Come on now. Keep that a buck. That's let folks know where we are. That's some sellout stuff right there. Ask me, that's sellout. They could have left it Ellis Avenue. Or they could have just put it as Rush Ave. Rush Avenue. Why they had to make it a boulevard? See, that's my problem. You know what I'm saying? You go up there to Yazoo City. Is that Jerry Clower Boulevard? When Highway 49 turns into Jerry Clower, is that Jerry Clower Boulevard? Or is it just Jerry Clower? Make that make sense. Make it make sense. We get boulevards. We get boulevards. Like boulevards is something, you know. I wonder what they're gonna do with St. I wonder if they're gonna change St. Charles into a boulevard. I wonder if they're gonna change St. Charles into a boulevard, to some other name, to a boulevard. I'm telling you. And then he want to name names after people. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come on. Come on. What we gonna do? Avenues turns into boulevards? That's what's happening. That's what's happening. It's like in New York and Harlem over there where I used to live in Harlem. It was Lenox Avenue. Just like Ellis Avenue. It was Lenox Ave. I've always known it to be Lenox Ave. They changed it to Malcolm X Boulevard. That's just like 125th Street. They changed that to Martin Luther King Boulevard. It's still 125th, cause see the streets is numbered up there. You got Ave, you got your you got your all the streets, all the blocks are numbered, the blocks, but your streets are named. But it was always named. It was always named Lenox Ave, 8th Ave, Madison Ave. Now you got then they started that mess with Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard. Man, please, that's only letting folks know what black folks is. Call me what you want. Like I told you, 1-800-COLLECT don't work no more, so you can't call me collect. And I mean, I'm just telling you how it is. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna let my plane on that one. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, this is Thursday, whatever. And we just want to come up on here and just kind of like, shed some light on a lot of different things, especially that from last night, because, it's something coming down the pipeline, baby. That cat got up there. I forgot to mention. It's a cat out there in Lexington, Mississippi. Like he's an alderman. He came out there and he was talking. He said he got a cat that got some project apartments up north in Chicago, and you want to talk to the city, to to Mississippi about that. What's that about? I be listening. What's that about? I meant to get on. I meant to go on and it aired yesterday on NPR yesterday and talk about that because, yo, what's that about? Is y'all potentially gonna put projects down here? Is they gonna potentially put projects down here? Is that what they gonna finna do to Jackson, Mississippi? They finna build this thing up? If that's what's going on, I wanna be in the loop. I wanna be in the loop. I'm gonna be in the loop. I'm not just gonna be in the loop in the know. I'm gonna be in the loop in the development process. I wanna know. I wanna know, and I wanna be able to be in. All in. And resident, you do too. If you're not gonna be in the development process, you need to be in the know. What's that about? Will that happen? What that Metro Center about? What type of buildings that's gonna be? Because if they build a special concrete for them buildings, how high they gonna be? Because 700 apartments is a lot, and that little space right there ain't enough. So they got to do no choice but to go up with them. Make it make sense, Jackson. I'm sorry about homeboy. Yeah, but it's real. You gotta make, yeah, that's real. I mean, you gotta make that make sense. They got no choice but to go up with them apartments. They making 700 apartments at the Metro Center, and that's gonna be apartments. They might have some storefronts on the bottom. What that sound like to me? Specialized projects. Alright. That's it for me. Send me a Cash App. Send me look, click like and share. Click like and share this video. And subscribe to the 601 Network. Yo, this is Real Jackson News. We see y'all tomorrow.